Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
When I was swarmed by bugs, Dom H, the hero that he is, waded into that maelstrom of claws and jaws and gook and pulled my dead ass out and got me to safety on the ship. Dom H is a patriot and a hero.
Yeah, that was really gay.
Hey, man, you don't know what it's like being in the shit with the bugs everywhere, man. It's terror. It's a nightmare. It's horrible.
Bugs make you gay? Kind of explaining why Bill Gates is pushing so hard for us to eat bugs.
You got to watch it. You got to hit the like button.
We've got to get it up for him, guys. Come on. Everyone who's watching this
video
video needs to go over
Don't
there,
say it like that.
And share the video. We got to keep going.
Don't they have to get it up for me? Don't say it like that. God damn it.
But I'm so apathetic to Star Wars that this episode could have featured Yoda riding on a dildo being wielded by R2-D2, and I would have the same reaction.
I do not know if I'm a girl anymore. I think I'm a they, them. What are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about people who have serious sexual orientation and gender identity problems. And I'm not talking, and when I say sexual orientation, I don't mean, a dude who likes a dude and a chick who likes a chick. We're talking about people who think that they're non-binary and they don't know how to play with their holes and shit like that.
Oh, so, Jesus Christ.
Jurassic
Park didn't eat more out of Lilo's pie.
Oh, fuck. I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
Oh, yeah, is that sauce good? Oh, that sauce is good.
Yo, you let that joint hit the back of your throat. Have you no shame?
You know what? There is a single reason why I wouldn't want to become a merman. I wouldn't have my penis anymore.
Yeah, you're here to bang women.
Oh, these two girls when you kiss, they're gonna be hot. Oh, yo, Elizabeth Hurley's gonna get butt naked in this.
But we don't want Revan touched. No.
Agreed.
You don't want anything good touched.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because Disney Star Wars is a bad touch.
It is a bad touch.
Touches you in the bad place.
It's a bad touch.
Show me on the doll where Disney Star Wars touched you.
I need a bigger doll.
Oh, God.
There's no doll left.
This is Harlem, baby, and we doing nothing but blackity blackities. I'm like, listen, sir, can we just have a superhero show?
The cops are on my back, Luke. You gotta get these blue folks up off me, dog.
I'm like, bruh, how much more of this I gotta watch?
I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun.
Impressive. Most impressive.
I will twerk on her on the bed. I ain't gonna do it in the middle of the dance floor.
That's what I'm. Yeah, whatever.
That's all right.
Why? My brain didn't need that. I'd already seen too many pictures of Shooty Gatwa today.
What?
Well, there's an image in my mind.
There's no, not making another Quiet Place, are they?
It's the fourth one because there was a prequel too.
Oh, well,
I saw all those movies and I hate them all.
Really? Even
Yes.
the first one?
Yes, especially the first one. First one makes me sick to my penis. I hate that freaking movie.
Again, I went to go see Deadpool last year, and Captain America trailer played, and somebody thought that was Hawkeye.
I mean, it is.
Well, no, it's I hang on, brain. But hey, I need a restart. Hang on.
That Dermy comment broke us both because I heard Falcon too.
No, I heard Hawkeye.
You heard Hawkeye, but it's like
Hawkeye.
there's 3 all wrongs right
I
there.
heard Hawkeye.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Bella Downsy fingered Dora the Explorer on HBO.
What? What? What?
There is nobody of merit there. It's for their new fan base. That's who D23 is for. Everybody who went there knowing they sniff crotch and suck shit. I'd work with Haley Atwell every day.
But
with two hands even. And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
I'm thinking I need to look up the definition of shame and question if we have any. Because those are clips from over a lot of years now. You could tell the era by what I have sitting on top of my PS5. You could tell the era by the changing of Dre's background. And also, like my hair at certain points, when it wasn't a good hair day, or if I decided to go through a long hat period. Do we have shame, Jed? Do we have any?
I have some, and I operate my life according to that. That's why I haven't turned into a dermy degenerate or into a rambling you, because that intro to the stream, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Actually, some of those were just happy accidents where I was just dropping things in there because there's going to be some changes to the intro soon. So I'm just this is like the last one of a particular combination of parts. So I was just kind of throwing there, and a couple of those actually went together quite nicely with the lead-ins. It was complete happy accident on a couple of those. So, hey, listen, we're here to have fun. That's a theme I want to remember. When people remember now, remember to have fun despite these times, because we are here. Hail and howdy. Welcome to the Roundtable, episode 190. 190 in 10 weeks, give or take, if we take a day off, depending on things happening here or there. We're at 200. We're at 200. That's something to say. Whether or not we are a massive show or not, we've been doing this approximately 200. There are a few lost episodes that I purposefully deleted, but because they were of a different era of this show, and I didn't keep them, so those are gone. But they are. I had the right number. I guess they were around 16 or 17. So when I restarted it, when our good old buddy Grump decided to help me out in my hour of need, I approximated that number. So we're still going to say 200 in 10 weeks.
I've been around for a lot of those. I feel like it was in the 30s when I came on, because I wasn't an original panelist.
No. I am the only original panelist at this point. Because the original pair of dudes who were here, and I'll say it, I won't lie, they betrayed me in the last second, literally bailed on me 5 minutes before live stream, said, we don't want to do it anymore. 5 minutes before the live stream for one episode. They were the original thing. I wasn't quite ready to stream yet. I wasn't ready to do live streams at that point. And it was very rough in those early days in terms of figuring out content for this show and how we're going to do it. It's evolved. Clearly it's evolved to where we are now without shame.
I think it's rough still. You've just accepted it.
It's not rough. We're a well-oiled machine here. I never make mistakes. It wasn't like last week where I forgot to upload the fresh intro and I had to stall for time and go back and forth from the camera and beg everybody just to wait a moment. That didn't happen last week.
No, I have no memory of this.
No. Sometimes I didn't sleep almost right up until the show's start time and not have a thought in my head. No, sometimes I haven't. It's not like I haven't almost slept at all. Gone on here.
What you're saying is, when you started the show, you had shame and were embarrassed about how the show was going, but now the show has completely degraded your shame till it's non-existent. So we get what we get now.
Look who I hang out with all over the place. I hang out with people who have no shame. I have no shame anymore. Listen. When I started doing the daily dive, I had to accept the fact I was going to get clipped saying retarded and gay shit. And I have been clipped saying retarded and gay shit over and over again. I just accept it now. It's going to happen. There. I'm not going to repeat it, but there are verbs. There are versions. There are clips of around the word licking and an asshole where I was reacting to videos that they made me watch. Jed, you were there for some of those. They made me watch those things, and I reacted.
I don't think they made you do anything. You just decided to prostitute yourself to them.
They made me do it. They made me by an agreement. It is an exchange of currency for a product.
Which both parties agreed to.
They made me do it. They make me watch these things. It's what it is. Anyway, welcome to the roundtable, everybody. Where I'm trying to remind people that it's okay to laugh. And that life has to move on. That is why I'm trying to be upbeat today, and we can be upbeat because things have been a rough week, and everybody has to process in their own way. We're not really going to talk about that itself, the event with Charlie Kirk, but we will reference what I call today the normalization of evil. If you've been keeping tabs, it's kind of been my focal point in dealing with this. But we'll give everybody a chance to talk about that a little bit later. But for now, hi, Jed. Welcome back to the show for another week of shamelessness.
Well, it is great to be here. And I think what you're saying there is very important, that it's still a very important thing to have fun, to laugh. That's why I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil actually this week. The new game has me very excited. Everything we're seeing like from the Nintendo Direct this week has me looking forward to Resident Evil 9. So I decided to finally pick up Resident Evil 4 Remake. I bought it like 2 years ago, started it, never got into it, and just stopped playing it. But I decided it was time to do a dedicated playthrough, because the only game I played is Resident Evil 2 Remake up to this point, and I enjoyed it. So I decided to give 4 a dedicated try, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm about halfway through right now, and it's a great game. Putting that on, watching Star Trek is just a great way to have fun and relax after this week.
Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I've never really been much of a Resident Evil guy. I sat there and watched other people play, I think Resident Evil 1 way back in the day, and these games, they're just not for me. But that doesn't mean they're not good games. But it's just not my type of game to play. So I'm happy people are excited for RE9 and that you're getting geared up for it. And that's just fun. It's fun. That has been my advice to a lot of people, and I've taken that advice myself. Go play a game. We'll play a game. Play some games. Disconnect. Get off Twitter.
For the love of God,
get off Twitter. At least for 24 hours. I don't need to take that advice because I am collecting information for content, and I've dealt with everything in my own way. But a lot of people, you got to get off Twitter. They just gotta.
Everyone's algorithm screwed up at this point. I don't get anything recommended to me except for all the craziness going on in the world right now. I don't get. I had to find out through another person that the Witcher stuff was coming out. It's not a. My feed isn't helpful right now.
My feed is still somewhat normal. I still get wrestling that I don't care about because I stop and look at like divas in their gear for a minute or an old clip, and then I get flooded with WWE stuff that I just don't care about anymore. I still get flooded with Stan bullshit. My feed is relatively intact. I'll be honest. I mean, it's still got the stuff, the events of the week constantly, but the rest of part of my feed that generally happens is there, except the porn. Dragon Lady, the porn isn't there anymore. I don't know what to do. How are you?
Oh no.
Well, if you wanted to hear something a little bit disturbing, I was on The Sims 4 earlier, and a sim of mine has been reborn onto another Sims family. So there was in the Korea sim trying to make these two people husband and wife, not understanding or realizing that they were brother and sister. I'm not joking. It did not say that they were brother and sister. I hadn't realized that something was going on, and I was like, "Oh, never mind."
Okay.
So you were trying to play God, make your own Adam and Eve.
Okay. All right. Well,
I wasn't trying to.
You have fun with that. The Sims. Yeah. I haven't played it since Sims 1, and I never went back.
Yeah,
I've never had a desire to.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a mistake. It was unintentional.
No, it was
I didn't
intentional.
realize
You know,
that.
it was
Wait, what?
intentional. It was intentional. You know, it was intentional.
She's got
Anyway.
some weird fetishes.
Yeah, that's not right.
I
Anyway,
haven't, honestly.
anyway,
She thought they were step siblings, okay, you two? She thought it was
Hey.
step siblings.
Hey, that's okay. We're not going to open up that conversation. Anyway, Dre's running late. Real life stuff getting in the way. Dre will be here in a little while, and when he gets here, we'll shift to a little more serious stuff. But until then, hail and howdy to the chat. You're here because you're fine with what we do. I've accepted that, and you should accept it too. Hail howdy to the mods, Legatus, Algrim, and Rubenex. Hope you gentlemen are doing fine today. Here's the funny thing. Listen, I don't get a chance often to make Legatus feel shame because he feels no shame either. So during the week, listen, Legatus, all joking aside, he is an incredible mod. He mods for all of us in a particular network of streams. He's constantly running, even when people are doing most streams, he is there working hard of his own free time. But because he doesn't even get on X for DMs, our good friend Devil made me do it. Devil, he runs a Wednesday night show. Devil canceled it because of reasons. Obviously, we don't feel like doing the show. Told everybody through Twitter network. Legatus sat there in the chat for 3 hours wondering why the show hadn't started. Just get it for DMs, you Luddite. Just get it for DMs so people can contact you and let you know. I'm going to point and laugh at you because you point and laugh at me all the time. Anyway, though, so get it for DMs. But hail to the mods. They do good work here. We thank you for giving us your free time. Hail, Jay Fraser. How are you, my friend? Hail, Kale. How are you? Hail, Huzzah, son of Joxer. And hail, Dr. Rachel. Jed's better half. Hail, Frank. How are you? And anybody else watching, not chatting, I don't think I missed anybody in the initial stuff here. Happy to have you guys all here today. We hope you have a nice afternoon. We hope you laugh a little bit and enjoy what we're going to talk about. And the immediate thing you do is hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Show your love. You know what? I'm going to show you guys some love. Here you go. It's September, which means it's that's not the right one. Hang on. It's September, which means free memberships. Boom. Free memberships. If it loads, there it is. Free memberships. You now have access to all old gaming streams on this channel. Go there. Watch them. Dozens of hours of me being a badass at games. Because I'm great. Awesome. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, okay,
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it in the background. You old man. Anyway, so no, you calling me an old man. You're calling me an old man. I'm not calling you an old man. You're calling me an old man. Because you do. You call me an old man all the time. Anyway.
I would never.
No. All right. So we've got a show for you guys today. Once Dre gets here, we will talk about the normalization of evil, what I believe was one of the primary ingredients of the equation that led to the tragedy of this past week with Charlie Kirk. We'll talk about that a little bit, mainly because you guys have heard what I say, but I want to give the others just a chance to weigh in on that idea, which we've been covering forever. But in regular news, because it's time to continue on with the normal, which is part of what we're talking about, why the normalization of evil and pointing out is important. We must continue to talk about all this pop culture poisoning that the far left commie Marxists have done. We must continue that because it's important. And we must recognize, more important than ever, to recognize when they're trying to indoctrinate people. So we will continue to go on and talk about the silly pop culture crap that we do, which includes this week, Witcher Season 4 teaser clip that dropped in the wee hours of the night. When did that drop last night, even?
It was late. I don't know exactly what time it was. It was 16 hours ago, apparently. So yeah, it was in the middle of the night. I don't know who the target audience was. Netflix sometimes does this, but this feels more like shame.
Uh-huh.
Like they fully realize what is happening, that no one cares about this show, and they're filming both seasons back to back. I still think that they're going to be roughly half seasons. They're rushing to the end. We knew last week they announced that Geralt and Yennefer would be reuniting in season 4, which, for those of you who know the books, Yennefer and Geralt don't see each other for a long time after they're separated at the end of Time of Contempt. So they're running full steam ahead to the end. They've probably got some contractual obligations to finish, so they're gonna batch drop it all at once, try to hope it gets out there, and forget about it. I think they're ready for people to forget about The Witcher.
Yeah. So we're not going to forget. We're going to go over it. Jed's got it ready for us. We can't actually watch the clip because it's a full on clip, and we will get claimed.
Yeah,
And
it's not a teaser. They called it a teaser, but that's just a clip. And we've got tons of images and release dates and stuff that have come out as well. Have you seen some of the posters?
Yes.
It looks awful.
It really does.
They're protecting him. So we're going to get into that. We're going to make fun of that. We're going to roast it. And we're going to remind you guys that at some point, Jed's going to make me watch this. So he's going to make me suffer. Anyway, then we're going to talk a little bit of Rings of Power has quietly been making season 3 happen. They've been quietly filming it. And there's just some real retardation surrounding it. We're going to make fun of that a little bit. Then got a little bit. I had originally a whole plan to talk about this week Superman, James Gunn's Superman. I had a whole thing, but it still feels a little bit inappropriate to talk about that. So I'm going to push that up, but it doesn't mean I have a little bit of DC thing I do want to talk about. So definitely when Dre's here, we're going to bring that up, and I want everybody to hear, because Lanterns, that 50-50 has now, in my opinion, dropped to 70-30. It's going to be good. And the 30 is the 70 is the bad part of it. Then this news is actually really important to entertainment. It's because of the week's events, it slipped through the cracks. Paramount Skydance is making an active bid to buy, a cash bid to buy Warner Discovery. That's pretty freaking big for a lot of reasons. And none of them are good. None of them are good. Because I'm just saying this now, monopolies aren't good. One monopoly does not counterbalance another. It just makes things worse. It just decreases the chance for good ideas to bubble to the surface and more schlock. So we're going to talk about it. So that's what we got going on here. But since we started with it, Jed, let's talk that Witcher 4 season 4 stuff. Whatever. It's I want it not to happen. You know. So all right, before you get, I got asked a question.
All right,
I got asked a question, and this is for our good friend Kratos. He asked me this question the other day, and I said, "You're much better to answer this than I am. Why can't Ciri be a Witcher?"
There's several different reasons. I think the most important reason, beyond any lore reasons, is she is such an interesting and unique character in pop culture in general, but especially in this universe. She's the heir to Laura Dern. She has the Elder Blood. The powers of time and space are hers to command, and that makes her incredibly unique, incredibly powerful, and fascinating. Why would we want to rob her of what made her special to make her a clone of her adopted father that people love? You're just devaluing her character, devaluing what made her special. So just divorcing it from the lore, that I think is the best reason why she shouldn't be a Witcher. There's also the aspects of there aren't any female Witchers in the universe, because when in the first age of Witchers, when the Witcher mutagens were first getting designed by the sorcerers, they had a bunch of girls and a bunch of boys testing out these mutagens, and they found that all the girls died and only 13 of the boys survived.
Wait a minute, Jed, you're telling me that that Witcher prequel on Netflix, that's not how Witchers were made?
That is not even slightly how it happened. Blood Origins thing is an abomination. Making Witchers be developed from the Elder Blood, turning them into Black Hulks. It was ridiculous.
That was so bad.
No, they were being experimented on. There were a bunch of girls, a bunch of boys. All the girls died from the mutagen experimentation, and only 13 of the boys survived. And ever since then, it's just like, All right, it's already hard enough to survive this. The boys are barely surviving. Let's focus on the test subjects that are surviving. It's vile and disgusting and evil what they were doing. The way that Witchers are created are not morally good.
No,
and
it's
even
no.
in the books, Geralt talks about it. He's not that disappointed that the era of Witchers is ending from the mere fact of what happened to him, what happened to all the other Witchers that he knows. They still provide a valuable service and are important. So there's a big conflict in the world about, is it justifiable doing this to young boys to fight these monsters? But yeah, it was just a mere fact of all the girls died. So that, and no one who's an adult has ever survived either. You have to be a malleable child to survive these. So she's an adult, she's a woman, and you're robbing her of what makes her special. You could argue that her elder blood capabilities could make her a little bit more resilient. There is an argument to be made there, but there's not a hard and fast rule. There is not anything in the Witcher universe that says a Witcher cannot be a girl. That is actually not true. What a lot of people have been saying that, but it is avoided. There are reasons why it's not practical. And like I said, the most important reason is Ciri's special. Why would you just make her a clone of somebody else? So that would be my argument for not making Ciri a Witcher, beyond her age, beyond her gender. Just, why are you taking away what made her so special?
See, this is why, as the Kratos, I can't really answer that cleanly. I don't really know the answer, and that you would have a much better answer than I would, because you are much more steeped in the lore than I am. So that's why I said I'm going to ask Jed.
They have confirmed that she is no longer going to have the Lady in Space and Time abilities. The Elder Blood abilities were taken away from her at the end of Witcher 3 in the version of that event that they're going with. And they're giving her back her normal magic. She's going to be more powerful than the average Witcher. In the books, in I think it was Time of Contempt. Yeah, it was at the end of Time and Contempt. Ciri voluntarily gave up her normal magical ability, her sorceress abilities. And ever since then, she's never been able to practice normal magic, like cast fireballs, everything else you see Ciri, Yennefer and Triss doing. But this game is like, oh yeah, she just kind of got those back when she gave up her Elder Blood abilities, and that bothers me more than anything, because it was a poignant moment for her when she's out in the deserts at the end of Time and Contempt, when she's realizing that her power is corrupting her. She's physically seeing it is an evil force inside of me. I might turn out to be like Folka, the worst bloodthirsty warlord in the history of the continent, and I don't want to become like that. So I will give up this power that could corrupt me. So it is a very important moment for her character, and the game's just like, why not? Let her cast sorceress magic too. So she's literally Yennefer and Geralt shoved into one person. She's not actually their child.
That alone bugs the hell out of me. But what bugs the hell out of me is that Witcher 3 is a very, in a lot of ways, it's not a full-on choices matter, but the choices matter still get you one of multiple endings. Various endings. Yeah. I ended up getting the ending where everybody survived and Ciri goes on to be Empress. That's the ending I got.
Oh, that's a bad one. I do not like that ending.
Well, I'm not saying good or bad. That's the one I ended up with. Where that, because
you went and let Amir pay you for her. That's the important choice. There are a lot of other little important choices, but the most important one is before going to Bald Mountain, before confronting Imarith and the crones, you have to take her to Nilfgaard or to Vizima and accept that payment from Amir.
I don't remember what I did. I mean, the streams are there. You'd have to. Well, I think
I consider that the worst ending, even though there are endings where it's believed that Ciri dies.
So I mean, I remember standing up for her multiple times, and I let her. I remember taking her, letting her go talk to him. That's what I remember doing.
That's it. Yeah. If Ciri and
I didn't take the payment. I did, but I let them talk. I let her talk.
It's that event of having them meet is what made that ending.
Oh, okay. Well, how did I know? I was just playing.
No, yeah, no. A lot of people fall into that one.
Yeah,
by accident.
Because I thought, all right, because I was telling Amir, fuck off every time he tried to bully me with her, and then after a particular conversation where I said to her, okay, you need to decide things for yourself. To me, that meant letting her confront him. So that's how I saw it. So that's the ending I got, as opposed to Devil, who told me he got the worst possible ending ever, where Geralt basically commits Minecraft by going out to the cottage and letting all the monsters attack him.
Yep, that's the ending that Ciri dies and he just can't handle it.
Yeah. So that's but point is though, there are many endings to that. And the same way I don't want a Mass Effect show, because that is Megali, a very big choices matter game as well. By creating Witcher 4, with the Witcher 4 game that's coming out, if we're even going to call it Witcher 4, do we even call it Witcher 4? I don't know.
They're calling it that as of right now.
Working title, I guess.
Working title.
Because we know what's happening. Ciri's going to be the protagonist. Geralt's going to be there, but it's going to be more like a Vizimir type of thing where he's helping. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a minor role. Doug Conkle has confirmed he has done some voice work, but it's not like he's going to be around the whole time.
Yeah, so
it's in a completely different part of the continent. It's very divorced. I think it's in Kovir.
You would know better than I. But serious story. So point is though, by doing that, it's like a middle finger to all efforts to try and craft certain endings for Witcher 3. And I don't like that. I don't like a game that I don't like it when they make a story happen that negates all the work you put into a previous story to get a certain type of ending, if what you may consider the good or bad ending. I don't like that. And I'm not excited for Witcher 4. I'm not. I mean, I know you're somewhere in between.
I don't have faith in CD Projekt Red right now. Ciri is my favorite Witcher character, but everything I hear about what they're doing to her is not making me look forward to it. I'm expecting it to be terrible, but there are ways, in my opinion, to keep that customizability for The Witcher 3 intact and move forward because of how the different, like Blood and Wine kind of filters a lot of those endings into one with Geralt retiring in Toussaint. That already kind of consolidates the endings, but the prologue or the first act of The Witcher 4 could take your choices into account from The Witcher 3 and then bring them all together for the game going forward, because the main endings for the Witcher are Ciri dies, or The Witcher 3, excuse me. Ciri dies, Ciri becomes Empress, or Ciri becomes a Witcheress. Those are she's fulfilling the role of a Witcher. She doesn't have the mutagens, but she's going around hunting monsters and whatnot. So those are the three core endings. All of those can work going forward because with a little bit of finagling. The dead ending, actually, a lot of people don't know this. There is setup in that ending where she survived and escaped, and she's out there somewhere. There is some hidden evidence around the crone's hut that Geralt doesn't see that says, hey, she escaped. So she's still alive out there, but Geralt could be dead, so his involvement could disappear in Witcher 4, dependent on if that was the ending you chose in Witcher 3, and then she goes and becomes a Witcheress on her own. That's fine. Witcheress, that's already what they're going for, what they're trying to canonize, so that ending's fine. And Empress, you could have her not want to be an Empress, which she doesn't want to be. She could abdicate and run away. So there is a way to keep all those endings intact and move forward with Witcher 4, but from the sounds of it, they're choosing to canonize the Witcher or the Witcheress ending of The Witcher 3 instead of finding a way for them to coexist, which isn't that difficult in my opinion.
It still doesn't sit well with me. You're removing the freedom of the gamer. And while I love concrete endings, in a game that's designed for multiple endings, I do love the idea of a canon ending, but just people have spent so much time playing Witcher 3, for an example. Some people put thousands of hours into that game, replaying over and over again to get different things. You are one of those people. It feels like you're taking away their escapism and their personal touch on it. Just like I think if you make a Mass Effect and you create a shepherd to appear in it, you've taken away everybody else, the world's shepherds. Everybody has their own shepherd. And you know a fake fan of that when they show clips and it's the default shepherd, whether it's male shepherd or femme shepherd. You know you're dealing with a fake fan because no Mass Effect player in their right mind ever goes with default shepherd. Everybody makes their own shepherd. You're a liar if you say otherwise. Jed, you made your own shepherd.
No.
God damn it.
I went with the female default. I tried to make my own, but I just hated how it was coming out. I tried.
All right, okay, you tried.
I did try.
All right, so you at least tried, and you couldn't quite make it work. That's
I ended up just liking the default better than anything.
I'll give you a pass because you tried. I'll give you the pass because you tried.
But I agree. In a Mass Effect setting, you should make a independent story set in this universe because the
Yes.
world building of Mass Effect is one of the best things about it. So it's got a great sandbox to build a new story in.
There are plenty of stories that can go on parallel to
Like
the crew of the
Andromeda,
Normandy.
as much as people don't like it, that is existing separate without hurting anything going on the Normandy, at least from what I'm aware of.
Yeah. What happens in the Andromeda Initiative takes place before the Reaper War in Mass Effect 3, so it's completely divorced from it. So, but even during the War of the Reapers, in that period of time, there are plenty of stories that could be created and told that run parallel to what the crew of the Normandy is getting up to. Just create new adventures, create new heroes. Don't take away people's things. But Netflix is determined to give us Witcher, despite the fact that, Jet, season 1 of The Witcher was mildly accepted. Is that fair to say?
It was relatively positively accepted. I had a lot of issues with it as a lore fan, but that first episode is really solid. I do think the pilot episode of The Witcher is probably its best episode, if not the pilot of season 2, because it tried to be a little bit more closer to one of the short stories, but it had a lot of things going for it. That fight sequence at the end of episode 1 with Geralt versus those thugs, that's an incredibly choreographed fight, one of the only ones in the series. So yeah, I would 100% agree. Initially, it was accepted, and then the rot started to be visible. People realized the quality just wasn't there. The allure of Henry Cavill in the role wore off, and yeah, people started to realize in season 2 and Blood Origin that it was not anything of quality.
And season 1 also had titties.
They did. Yep. And they're gone now.
Yep. So season 1 was relatively mildly accepted, somewhat positive. There wasn't as much hate. Then season 2 rolled around, a lot of hate, and season 3 massive hate.
That's what I thought of it. I thought season 1 was all right, and then season 2, it just felt like they were going away from Geralt, and he was just basically the side character in his own show. And even I was noticing the quality going downhill, and I didn't even bother with season 3 at all.
Well, season 2 really dragged it down because they started to butcher a lot of stuff, and the agenda started really rolling in even more. It was there in season 1, but it was slight. It wasn't ruining. It rolled in even heavier in season 2, and then Jed made me watch season 3, and there was like unicorn, horse, dick, and ball. It was terrible. Jeremy was obsessed with the unicorn and its crotch. We don't know why still to this day. But when it ended and all the stuff around Cavill and his exit, it was just wrong. Is the best thing. Henry Cavill wanted to make a good show and they wouldn't let him. And they drove him out. And then in that moment, they could have just pulled the plug, right? They could have pulled the plug and nobody would have cared.
That was the smart thing to do because there was not a audience large enough to sustain the show. There wasn't positivity surrounding it. There wasn't a clamor for it to continue without Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill was the lifeblood of this show. Yeah. As much as I don't think he's a perfect casting, he's why people watch this show. Yeah. And with him gone, interest just evaporated overnight. You're seeing that with the excitement for season 4, which is non-existent. No one gives a fuck that this show is continuing. So pulling the plug was the correct decision at that time. That's what they should have done because it cut their losses. They'd sunk hundreds of millions of dollars into the show, see no return because it's impossible to have a return on a streaming original show. And there's nothing coming out of it. There's no way that interest will continue. So yeah, pulling the plug was their only chance to save what they had, save that little positivity from season 1.
And it's done. It's done because, and what they released last night, we've mentioned it. They released they call it a teaser. It's a literal clip from the show. But the special effects of the show were already a little strained, to say the least. What we got last night, and so Jim, bring that up. What we got last night, we're not actually going to watch it because, as I said, we'll get a claim because it's a real clip. We can only do when for like 10 seconds we can watch stuff, but this is a real ass clip, and drag it. First of all, Lesser Hemsworth. Listen, I have no beef with Liam Hemsworth, but he is. And here's how I know. I mentioned this last night in conversation. I'm not the only person that says that. It's a common commentary on Liam Hemsworth. People go Chris Hemsworth, and when they talk about his brother, they say everybody says Lesser Hemsworth. It's a true meme that came out of its own. And then there's the forgotten Hemsworth that nobody ever talks about. So you got Chris, Lesser, and Forgotten. That's how it is. And it's just, this is such a downgrade. He has zero presence. Jed, you've watched the whole clip like I have, right?
I have, yeah, and he doesn't have the charisma that he should. I mean, Geralt's not overly a charismatic person, but he's a enthralling person. Yes, he has a presence that you can't help but watch and be engaged with. There's gravitas, I think would be the better word, and he's just this line alone that I left it up here, shall meet my fate in fiery hell, is just so awkwardly delivered. I can't imagine that he'll be good in this role, and he's so much lesser than his brother in talent. There's a favorite quote of mine. He was quoted saying, "I don't like being known as just Miley Cyrus's ex-boyfriend," and then it quoted him, Liam Hemsworth, brother of Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, Ruben, we're not. Let's say I don't have a problem with Liam Hemsworth, and he is just doing a job. But
you need to cast a man of talent. Geralt is a hard character to get right because his entire character is born on subtlety. He says so much when saying so little, and that's a difficult thing to achieve. So you need a very well-talented actor, and I think Henry Cavill is talented enough that he was able to do a good, decent job at it.
And he cared.
He cared, and that's the most important thing. Is he cared, and he tried to make it as authentic as possible. But with Liam here, he has no experience with the books. He talked about it. He's been told not to read the books, and he doesn't have the talent. Hunger Games is his biggest product besides Independence Day 2.
He was in Hunger Games?
Yeah, he was in Hunger Games and Independence Day 2.
I don't remember those movies.
He was flat, entirely flat. So, like you said, I have nothing against him. He's never said anything publicly. He seems like a nice guy and just stays out of things, and that's the best case scenario with an actor. But I don't think he has the talent to pull off this type of role. You need a juggernaut to be able to pull this off.
They killed him off in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah,
of Expendables 2. They killed him off. He was dead.
This show isn't his fault to begin with. It's not his fault to begin with that he ended up going on halfway through when the show's clearly having problems. None of it is his fault at the end of the day. It's just the horrible writers and that are pushing a lot of this stuff onto him. And he's poor bloke's basically in the middle of it all.
It doesn't matter. He's still a part of it. I give him a pass in terms of it's not his fault, but you're still a part of it, and he's going to be a part of the memes, and he's going to be continue to be called Lesser Hemsworth. And
now he's the ex-boyfriend of Miley Cyrus, the brother of Chris Hemsworth, and now he's the guy who replaced.
He's the
Henry
backup.
Cavill.
He's like backup Cavill.
He's backup Cavill. He's got no identity of his own. But I think his involvement is more indicative of the quality of the show. These writers, these producers, they didn't understand what they were doing well enough to write a good show. Now they can't even cast a good show because Henry pushed hard to be involved in it. Initially, he was reaching out to them. He was saying, "I will play this role. Please let me do this." And so they just kind of were worn down by his persistence. With this is casting how they want to just throw some random guy in the role who will accept a small paycheck. So I think his involvement is very indicative of the problems and represents their mindset, but he can't be blamed for this. He's got nothing else going on. It's if Henry Cavill came in at this point in the show, you could blame him a little bit. It's like, all right, you've got a great Highlander movie from the sounds of it coming out. You've got the Warhammer
he got
universe.
injured during that too. That's been delayed. He got injured.
Oh, I didn't know it had been delayed. But in general, if it's a actor with a great track record, with a great future, a lot of other great projects going on, you kind of blame him for taking a shitty project. But Liam Hemsworth, the last time I remember him being in a movie was Independence Day 2, and that was almost a decade ago. So he's got to take a role. He's got to pay his bills.
Again, I do not fault people for trying to pay their bills. No problem. And this is clearly just I'll take my money and I'll get it. But it's just he keeps getting involved in situations, talking about Liam Hemsworth, where it makes him, I don't want to say forgettable because the other Hemsworth we don't even remember at all. He's just there, and he has these roles aren't his, or nothing is his. He's just there, and it really isn't fair to him.
No,
It isn't fair to him to bring him because he's gonna. Like we said, we're cutting him a bit of a break, but he's gonna get shit on a lot for being involved in this. And just because this whole entire production is garbage. Slide over to that Wraith now. Slide over to the Wraith, and
God,
it's that even more when it's dragging him. When it's dragging him, you really see the uncanny valley. Oh.
This Wraith doesn't make any sense from Witcher lore. A silver sword will do damage to them, and there's no ripping out the hearts and burning the hearts of a Wraith. That's not a thing. It's just ridiculous. The quality of the show has gone downhill. I even think the quality in season 1 wasn't great. I'm apparently in the minority to say that I think the Striga from the beginning of season 1 was awful. I do not like the design of the Striga.
None of the monster designs are good, and they also have the biggest problem here. The biggest mistake that always stuck out to me that I never got over was the fact that where are both swords? He's always
they don't like the most iconic part of the Witcher's character, because in the books he didn't have cat eyes all the time. That's a video game thing, making it so his eyes are always yellow like that. That is only visible when there's a transition of light, like at twilight or something like that, when he's switching to night vision in the books. But yeah, the twin swords are how people identify Witchers in this universe, and they're almost embarrassed to have them have two swords.
I remember playing the first Witcher game, which is my introduction to all of this years ago. And in the first Witcher game, you only start with your basic sword, your regular iron steel sword, and you then have to find the silver sword when you get stuck in a job fighting undead. And that was when you get it, and you realize, wow, okay, the silver sword, this thing's great. I can fight again. I'm not just chopping away at these things that keep coming at me. It's such an integral part of how a Witcher completes his job. And to have basically, for the majority of this series, Cavill's Geralt forgetting about the silver sword 95% of the time. I mean, it's there, but he leaves it on Roach most of the time. He has to go back and switch them instead of having them both on his back, which is, as you said, is iconic. It's the look. So he doesn't have a silver sword. He's going to fight this thing with a basic sword.
No, it might be a silver sword that he's got, but if we look here...
Oh, yeah, there is a time skip, isn't there? I see only one sword, so...
He's only got one sword, and he's holding it to draw it. There's no iconic taking it off the back scabbard. And, yeah, this looks like this is his Hensa. You can see Milv over here. That's probably one of the dwarves. I can't tell which one it is, but none of this makes sense.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, this show is going to be garbage. We can see that from this clip. His costume is terrible. I hate the black leather.
He looks like he walked off the street.
He looks like a biker.
Yeah. And in the end, it's so disappointing because if it had been done right, if they had adapted the books properly, they could have had. And when I say years, I don't mean the time they take to make these things. They could have multiple years and seasons if they had followed the progression of the story all the way into the games. They could have had years of content. It would have been dark. It would have been gritty. This is not a happy world that they exist in.
Dude, people have been talking about, the next Game of Thrones for years. This could have legitimately been the next fantasy juggernaut for adults. Yeah. It had, I think, easily 10 seasons worth of content if you were able to get the rights to the games. That's kind of a separate thing. I personally would not do a Witcher product without rights to the game, so I could use their great visual designs. Their designs of monsters, costumings, all that is so great that I wouldn't want to do this universe without those designs, if nothing else. But with that, 10 seasons, easy. Knock it out. If you didn't have that, 7 seasons for 7 books, and they should have adapted the short stories correctly. It seemed like they were ashamed of the short stories and ashamed that Yennefer and Ciri weren't introduced initially. They're like, Witcher doing Witcher things? Oh, we can't have that. We've got to write in this whole backstory from one line of dialogue. I don't know if you're aware, in Season of Storms, I believe it was, Geralt looked at Yennefer, or it wasn't that one, but at one point he looks at Yennefer and realizes that she was born a hunchback. That's a line that they took into her entire season 1 arc. They added in a character that twink that she was fucking throughout season 1. He was briefly in one of the short stories and just like, I've known Yennefer for years. So they took One guy, she's known for years, and she was born a hunchback and made that garbage season 1 arc. I hate her story in season 1. And Siri, same thing. They made up a lot of what happened because there were 2 short stories with Siri in Sword of Destiny. She's a minor character initially. A lot of what happens to her happens off screen.
And they've canceled the show that was a spinoff now. You told me they canceled the
Blood Origin didn't get a season 2, thankfully.
Yeah.
And the Rat spinoff, which was initially supposed to come out before season 4 and be a lead into season 4 to develop the characters of the rats that we briefly saw at the end of season 3, that was canceled partway through its production. They stopped production at one point, and all word was they'll probably just throw away the footage or at most incorporate some of the footage that they had into season 4 to help pad it out, because it's been confirmed season 4 is 8 episodes. It's shorter, and it's all batch dropping at once, and it's coming out in a month and a half. A month and a half. We just found out the release date, and we just got a teaser, not even a trailer, a teaser a month and a half out. But it's been confirmed that they're going to cobble together the footage they have from the rats to make a movie. There is a Rats movie coming to Netflix this winter, most likely in December.
And the rats, essentially, as you explained it to me, it's a story of abuse, is what it is.
100%. They're murder Robin Hoods. They're a bunch of kids who they see themselves as these Robin Hood-esque figures. They're icons. We're robbing from the rich to give to the poor. We're helping out other people, but they're just violent freaks, and they sexually abuse Siri, multiple characters, and a guy tries to do it. The leader of the rats tries to abuse Siri, and a girl comes in and saves Siri, and then the girl's like, "Hey, I saved you, so why don't you give me some of that ass in payment?" And that's what happens. And she gets Stockholm Syndrome bad for the rats.
Yeah.
And she takes on the name of Folka, which would be the equivalent of some dude taking on the name Hitler. Like, that's how bad Folka is. Folka is that universe's Hitler. And she goes by that name and helps murder people indiscriminately. And that's why when Bonart, the mercenary, comes and murders all the rats, I consider that a good thing.
But so that was going to be a rough thing anyway. If they produced that, because they would have sanitized the hell out of it and made them all queer icons, all of them. Queer
they're already the lesbian relationship is going to be thoughtful and emotional and sweet and not grapey
instead of the abusive relationship.
And she's got a shaved head.
Oh, jeez.
Missile.
All right. So, what do you think of the New Witcher books? Asked Jay Frazier. The authors confirmed there is a new one coming.
So the new one's actually already out in Polish. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's the translation of the name's a little iffy right now. It's Crosswords of Ravens. I don't think that's a great translation of the title. It could have been called like Raven's Crossroad or something like that. The English translation is set to drop in about 2 weeks now. I'm going to be getting it right as soon as I can. I'm going to pre-order it like a dumbass, and I'm going to read it as soon as I can. I'm very much looking forward to it. There are things that I'm not loving. It's a prequel, just like the last book, Season of Storms, was a prequel, and it's about his first time out on the trail. So he's graduated from School of the Wolf, whatever, and he's on the path for the very first time. The reason I'm a little bit concerned is they've changed Geralt's age. So originally Geralt is reported to be in his 80s by the time the video games come around. So in Witcher 3, he's about 85 is what we've known or what's been established. This is saying that he's significantly younger than we believed him to be. So instead of being 60 when he met Ciri, he's as like a 10-year-old, she's going to be barely 40. So they've made him 20 years younger. Or Andre's made him like 20 years younger, which is a little weird. But I don't know.
Strange retcon. It's a strange retcon to do.
It was never solid. Like that 85 is from the games more than anything. So it's not really a retcon. It just feels a little incongruent. So I don't consider it a bad thing necessarily, but it makes me a little worried about what other changes he's going to be making. But I'm looking forward to the book. I will be reading it right away, and I expect it to be good. Season of Storms had some weird aspects to it, but it was still really fun to read. I don't think we needed the farty Amazonian women, but that's just me.
Wait, you just said farty Amazonian women.
So the entirety of Season of Storms is Geralt has his sword stolen from him, and he goes on a quest to get his swords back. And they get stolen by these castle guard that are all large women, and they fart a lot.
Yeah, I don't want that snoo.
Yeah, it
I'm
was a
not
little
gonna-
weird. I do have to admit, Season of Storms is my least favorite book. I still enjoy it, but it was just really weird. That's one of the reasons I'm a little bit concerned about this one. It has been 12 years since that book came out, so hopefully he's taking the criticism from that and is going to do something better. But I still trust Andre. I absolutely
More than Netflix.
More than Netflix. That's for damn sure.
So this is going to be bad. Season 4, season 5. You're likely going to make me watch this garbage, and just my reactions alone.
Your reactions will be gold, but it seems like everyone's rejecting it. We've already got a ratio trailer here with only 500,000 views. This isn't looking good. There is a bunch of other stuff that's been released with it as well. And like I said, we've just got the release date. Last week we found out, it'll be the end of October. Now we know it is the day before Halloween is when it's coming out. And
that's an appropriate release date. I mean, it's a good idea.
It's the right time to do it. If they're leaning back into the horror element, they haven't leaned into the
horror
not. Elements.
This is not horror.
No.
This is ridiculous looking. This wraith.
Well, they also released a bunch of images that I'd love to show you. So
go ahead. Oh wait, wrong button. Sorry. I'm go ahead.
It's shared.
Oh, there we go. I'm having trouble with this lately. I keep hitting the wrong buttons.
It's all good. Well, this shot here is clearly recreating one of the most iconic shots of Henry Cavill from season 1 when he killed the Kikimora at the very, very beginning of the show. And the flame swords, I'm not a fan of. They keep having Geralt's sword catch on fire to make it a little bit cooler. That's how we took out the Leshen in season 2, which wasn't a Leshen. But yep, they're bringing back that. And this is in his season 1 armor, I believe. This might be season 2 armor. So I think they've refilmed all of the previously on stuff.
So they could clip it in and look, it's accurate. Yay.
So yeah, I think season 3 will start with the classic previously on The Witcher, and they've stooped in Liam Hemsworth into all the scenes that they need.
You know what? Let Cavill be erased from this. Let him be erased. Let's just forget it ever happened. Honestly, that's terrible. That was bad.
We also have
Larry Fishburne. Oh, looks so bad. I saw this one.
You haven't played the DLCs yet, but he's playing a character who's in the Blood and Wine DLC of Witcher 3 called Regis. He's a vampire. He's actually one of the oldest characters that we meet because he's a higher vampire. Higher vampires are more traditional vampires. There's lesser vampires that are just pure monster-like.
Which we kill in Witcher 3. I've killed.
Yep, you killed lots of lesser vampires in The Witcher 3. Him and Detlef are the main higher vampires that you see in the video game, but he's old. He's old. There are references to him remembering the time before the conjunction of the sphere. So he's hundreds of years old. He's wise. He's seen when he's introduced, you think he's just a hermit. He's living out in the middle of nowhere because he's controlling his vampire thirst. That's his big thing. Is he's old, he's wise, and he doesn't want to hurt humans. So he's living on his own. But this just looks terrible.
Why they got to do that to his hair, man?
Yeah, what is going on with his hair?
Larry Fishburne, he'll take that paycheck.
This looks so cheap. This is like plastic leather you find at Spirit Halloween. All right, we also have Yennefer. She's learning to sword fight because it's not cool enough that she's one of the most powerful magic users in this universe. She's got to learn how to fight too. And it looks like that's the new Vesemir. They've recast Vesemir. I don't remember why, but it's a different actor for Vesemir. And some bald chick. I don't know who she's supposed to be. And they've made her so important to the series.
Yeah.
She's in part of a short story, and that's about it. Like, she's mentioned a couple times. She's not a main character. It's not like Fringilla, where Fringilla's with Nilfgaard. She actually sees everything going on. They expand Fringilla's role, but at least it makes sense. She was involved in these historical events. This lady, it's just like, we need more female representation. And now she's going to teach Yennefer how to sword fight. It's retarded.
And nobody's taking their titties out.
Nope. I think she's bundled up more than ever. This costume is terrible for her as well. That looks like felt. And we have a shot of Ciri. She's wearing aggressive eye makeup in this season, apparently. And little baby sword.
Yeah, it's just, man, why are we doing this?
Ciri is such a great character. They're just going to turn her into a moody teen who's the bestest at everything. And we have a couple more. We also have this shot of Liam with his Hensa bunch of dwarves. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this dude's face. I don't know if you can see it, but that is
That's not
horrifying.
good. I can smell that scene right there. I can smell it. That outfit though, you said it before. What the fuck is Geralt wearing?
I hate all of the costumes for Geralt in this entire show. It's biker Geralt. It really is biker Geralt. His costumes in the game were so great. And my favorite is his default outfit that you start at the game with that padded chainmail leather. That costume is iconic. But he's never wearing armor. He never has chainmail. He's just wearing a black shirt.
I think I ended up when I beat the game, I was wearing the high grade School of the Bear gear.
That's
great.
great.
That's
The
long
heavy
coat.
armor.
I go with long coat and heavy armor. That's when it's like, yes, here we go. Hell yeah.
And his costume, there's so much opportunity to experiment because, yes, he is on the road all the time, but he's always getting into fights, so he needs some armor, and he is stronger than the average person, so he can handle more armor on average than a normal person. So chainmail is a great way to do it. Incorporate some pieces of chainmail. This is just like, he on horse, so it heavy, and so it's mouth drooling stupid. But the image that people are talking about the most, that people are just having a heyday looking at, is this poster.
We'll protect you.
A lot of people are saying he looks like John Travolta in this. I don't know if you see that, but I can't unsee it ever since it was mentioned to me.
I don't see it. No, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No,
well, it looks weird. Everyone looks awkward. It looks like it was digitally created. Like this,
Well,
I don't think
mean,
they actually
it
posed
looks like
this.
It looks like he's 8 feet tall, standing over these women.
And Ciri looks so uncomfortable with her sword. And a little downsy. They all look a little downsy, and Yennefer just looks bored. I don't like Anna Clarietta, I believe is her name, in the role of Yennefer. I don't like her in that role at all, but I've never seen her say anything bad. Like, I don't, just with all these actors.
She said some stupid shit in that game she was a part of.
Oh, that's right, in that other project. But most of these actors, they haven't done a whole lot wrong. Like Joey Beatty as Dandelion or Jaskier, I think it's fine.
God, why that is still so dumb to remove Dandelion and to make him super gay.
To make, and he's fucking Prince Radovid. If you remember The Witcher 3, he would be the stand-in for the homophobic character going around burning people at the stake. That's not the right person to make his boyfriend. But yeah, everyone here I think is miscast. I don't think there's a single person in the franchise that I think was cast correctly, except for maybe Mads Mikkelsen's brother as Dragobor. I think that was decent, but he should have only been in one episode. But it's a disaster. Everyone's making fun of it. That's all I've heard is people mocking this. No one's looking forward to
no
this.
Positivity. Not even the stands are standing up for this one. What stands are left? They've
given up.
They've moved on to be parasites in other franchises at this point. They're not there anymore. There's no fake fans left to support Netflix Witcher. So it's a disaster. It's not even worth reviewing, especially if they're bats dropping it.
Yep, all 8 episodes at once.
You think Netflix will ever learn the lesson? Don't bats drop anymore?
No.
That's
what they built their brand off of, and the CEO of Netflix is actually upset right now. So famously, he said for a long time he will never put any of his movies in theaters, and that's why a lot of people didn't want to bring business to him because
they're releasing a movie right now.
That's what I'm talking about. So he finally relented because I think foreign rights or something like that, and they dropped the Demon Hunter show. And it's doing insanely well, and he looks really bad right now.
Okay, no, not just that. There's another Netflix movie I'm thinking of. Maybe it's Amazon. I don't remember. Oh, you're talking about Demon Slayer. Okay.
No, not Demon Slayer. Demon Hunter. The K-pop Demon Hunter movie. That's in theaters right now.
That thing. Oh, they put that in theaters. Well, they put
it in theaters.
They put a sing-along in there. They put the sing-along for this.
But it's doing really well, which is making him look really bad because he refused to put Knives Out 2 in theaters.
But they're putting this. That's the one thing. That's what I was saying. The next Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man, is going into theaters.
That's what I'm talking about. He's been so vehemently against theaters for so long, and now they're finally experimenting with it, and they're finally making money, and it's doing well, and he looks like a moron.
Wait, did Knives Out come out, or is it coming out next week?
It's coming out in a few months, or next month.
And that's not going to do well. Nobody cares about Knives Out. If people watch
hate Knives Out so much. I haven't watched the second one. The first one killed it.
People watch Knives Out because there's nothing else on Netflix. People are not going to pay $10 to $20 to go watch Knives Out in a movie theater. They're not going to do
They're
that.
the worst form of whodunits out there. Watch the Kenneth Branagh Perot movies. Those ones have some interesting whodunit aspects to it. There's plenty of great whodunit. The fucking Adam Sandler murder mystery movies are better whodunits than the Knives Out movies, because Knives Out, the only way he can make it complex is to lie to you. Famously, he redid scenes in Knives Out, so early in the movie you didn't get the twist, and then later on he put different versions of the events as the reveals. It's like, haha, you're stupid. You didn't see the thing that I cut out.
And Static is right. People only watch that one because there was nothing else to watch in that period of time, the first one. And you mentioned, I mean, listen, say what you will, Adam Sandler is a really good actor when he wants to be. He's very good. Daniel Craig is not a good actor. He's not. He's very mundane, very average. So this is Netflix being dumb, but it's at the same time, yeah, put K-pop Demon Hunters out there because it has a rabid fan base right now, and they will go and see it, and because they're doing it's the sing-along part. They want to go sing the songs. Let them do it. I have an idea. Oh, I have a really good idea now. See, all right, have you know what I've been doing to Dermy on Ballbusters lately?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm a little worried.
No. Well, no. So the first thing is, and this is all because of Double D's. It's Double D's influencing me to do this to him. First, where he has to now get the slimy gummy pickles. He has to eat a whole jar of those on stream, and he reached the tier. And then this week I came across those Mr. Beast Feastables chocolate milk things. He's got to drink 2 of those on stream now. And so now I feel like we are going to make Dermy go to because he liked it. He liked K-pop Demon Hunters. I think we need to make Dermy go to a K-pop Demon Hunter sing-along.
That would be funny.
I think that needs to happen. And he needs to record himself singing the songs in the crowd. I like this idea. I really like this idea. It's going to happen. I'm going to bring it up next week. I come up with such great ideas. I'm proud of myself. Anyway, okay, listen, the Forrest Gump jokes are not going to be on here. We're not doing the Jenny jokes. That is reserved because those get pretty racy. We have a bad habit for about 2 or 3 weeks now of doing this Forrest Gump Jenny jokes. Usually in private. We're not generally a little bit on stream, but we're pretty obnoxious with them. I can admit it. We're very obnoxious with them. But that is not. This show is a proper show. It has. Okay, we're not proper, but we don't have that kind of shame. We're not going to burn. No, Static. No, we're not doing that. Anyway, all right, moving on. Netflix sucks with Witcher. It's going to be bad, and we're going to laugh.
I don't think this is my prediction right now.
Okay, all right,
it will not show up in any ratings.
Oh no!
Season 3, it briefly showed up in the Nelsons, I believe. Blood Origin, I don't think did it all.
No, it did not.
I'm not expecting Samba or Nielsen numbers for season 4 at all. It might get into the top 10 of Netflix, but we know how valuable that metric is. So yeah, I think it's going to be a literal fart in the wind.
And good. I mean, not good for the IP, but fuck you, Netflix, for ruining it. What could have been great. So, all right, Jed, this one's now for me and you. You love Star Trek.
I do.
I love Star Trek. You love Doctor Who.
I do.
I love Doctor Who. Now, there have been comics which are very low on the canon tier list. We can agree to that. The comics are at the bottom, essentially, of canon tier lists.
Most of the time, they're more what ifs than anything.
Yeah, and the Doctor has graced TNG in the comics. It happened. Didn't really care, but it happened. But it's not canonized. Canonization, canonization tends to happen on screen when things are said on screen, TVs and movies. Well, we know that Kurtzman Trek is not Star Trek. It's not in any way, shape, or form. But some people don't know that. So when you get this, Star Trek Strange New Worlds just featured another Doctor Who Easter egg offering TARDIS fans a morsel while show is off air. First of all,
is that the only thing relevant about Strange New Worlds right now is when they make references to other shit or do crazy things like Muppets? Because we talked about this a month ago. They put a TARDIS in the background of an episode in a debris field.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that the Doctor Who. That's all it's relevant for too.
Yeah,
It's potential crossovers.
So this is IGN. They're full of shit because what they're talking about are not Doctor Who fans. Myself, you, members of the chat, people watching this, we are not. We are real fans. These people are not. So they say Doctor Who fans eagerly awaiting a third word of their time traveling hero. No, we're not waiting at all. Shooty Who
I'm
is
eagerly
done.
waiting the cancellation confirmation.
Yes.
And I still think until that spinoff comes out, we're not going to get it.
I agree with you. Because they at least have learned a lesson. Let's not do something that can dampen what little few eyes will be watching this horrible crap. Trump trailers should be paying attention to Strange New Worlds. I will not call it Star Trek, which just dropped its second Gallifreyan Easter egg this season. Strange New Worlds' third season finale features an obvious reference to one of its characters meeting the Doctor. Jed. Referencing meeting the Doctor on camera, live action. That should not happen.
No, it shouldn't happen. And I think they got away with it where like there's not a rights issue with it, like a copyright issue or anything like that, because Paramount doesn't own the rights to Doctor Who in any way, shape, or form. Everybody else does, except for Paramount at this point. Sony's got their fingers in that pie, but no, this is bizarre. There are ways to do it. If I remember correctly, like the quotes, just like some person shows up on the crew.
We'll get to it. So we have as a millennia-old Commander Pelly, I don't even know who that is, tells Spock. This is essentially autistic Spock. That's what they have going on in Kurtzman Trek. Autistic Spock,
because autism's a superpower.
That he should meet the time-traveling Doctor. What?
Oh, sorry. It was just the whole autism is a superpower. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. Somebody
That's not even relevant to this. The whole autism, that's not even relevant to this. With time traveling is certainly a thing in Star Trek. It's highly unlikely. Do they have the quote here? Because Brad showed me the quote. Oh, they don't have the quote here. So essentially, what goes on in the scene here is autistic Spock is complaining, oh, we need to do this, that, and it will be very hard. It'd be very trying. And this other character goes, not as trying as this time-traveling Doctor I once spent some time with. Look, I just broke you a little bit with that, didn't I?
They don't have the rights to say anything outright, so they're just... Yeah. It's a terrible way to introduce it. Saying that there's the companion who's on the Enterprise who hasn't told anyone about this in a while. The Doctor changes lives. If you were a companion, you talk about that shit constantly if you're able to, you know, depending on timelines and whatnot. But this is in the distant future. Time travel is already established in the Star Trek universe. So it's not like you're worrying about timelines by talking about the Doctor.
Yeah.
You'd be talking about it all the time. And you'd be an incredibly valuable member of an Enterprise crew if you traveled with the Doctor.
That's just the thing. They're trying to say that this chick is a companion. Out of nowhere. Well, obviously Shooty. Obviously going to be Shooty. So, but this, I heard this, and Brad told me this last week. It blew my mind. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? You're going to tell me that you're stooping in Doctor Who with Kurtzman Trek, saying that a Kurtzman Trek, a Starfleet officer, was palling around with probably Shooty Who. Because there's no other Doctor they would go to. No, they're not that smart. This is pathetic. Is that the right word? Pathetic. All of this is pathetic.
They're desperate at this point.
Attention,
to be relevant.
Attention-seeking whores is what they are. Because you said it. Strange New Worlds. It doesn't have any sort of real fan base, real traction, real anything at all. It doesn't. And you said it again. Shooty Who is dead. It's over.
This is just a zombie orgy at this point.
Ew. That's rough. There ain't no lotion involved in that. Ugh. It's terrible.
But this is something that we would probably love back in the day. Can you imagine a real TNG episode where Tom Baker showed up, the TARDIS materialized on the bridge?
Tom Baker. Imagine Jean-Luc Picard, Tom Baker adventure, or anybody. Like any
I
member.
think they wouldn't like each other. Jean-Luc would be too worried about like the Prime Directive.
Chaos. Too much. Listen,
the Doctor does not follow the Prime Directive, and that would bother Jean-Luc.
The Doctor, as much as we love the Doctor represents chaos.
Mm-hmm.
He is a chaotic factor. Jean-Luc is a man of order, a man of rules. That would be great.
And imagine Kirk and the Doctor. They wouldn't get along either because Kirk is very prone to, all right, I'm going to punch my way out of this situation.
I'm a Kirk punch you. Sam sent me a picture of this game with Kung Fu Kirk in it. I'm going to Kirk Fu you. It's Kirk punch you. The Doctor did some horrible things during the Time War, but he's essentially a pacifist. He doesn't want to take a life.
I don't know who would make the best crossover. I can imagine the War Doctor and Cisco being a team to reckon with.
Oh no, you know what I want? I'd want the grouchy pair, Capaldi and Worf. The grouchy pair. That so much salt, so much anger. Because remember, when we get introduced to Capaldi Doctor, we still don't know. Did he push that guy out the door? We don't know. He did. We caught him. He's sitting there, legs crossed. And so Capaldi's Doctor, he was a little bit violent. He could be a little violent.
Some are more than others.
Yeah. So I mean, Worf and Capaldi, that could be a good one. That could be a good one.
I think Tom Baker would be the best one to have with Picard, though, personality-wise, or maybe John Pertwee. John Pertwee and Picard could be a great partnership.
Well, except Deanna, can I see your tits?
See, we're already finding something that we'd love out of this idea. This could have been epic.
We're fanning it up. We're putting in silly shit in there, making it fun. But the reason I hate this so much is it takes itself so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with it. It takes itself so seriously. This is just fun. One second, I can blow my nose. Say something else. I hate you. I hate you. I cursed you the minute I muted and I started honking there. I cursed you. Cursed you. I don't want dead air. What do you do?
You're welcome.
You stare at the camera. Damn it, man. But
they're very similar shows.
Oh, Odo and the Doctor. That we were just talking about TNG. We can expand it to Odo and the Doctor. Ooh, I'm gonna bring that up to Brad tonight because sometimes when we start Wormhole Watch, Brad hits the record button while we're still joking around in case I understand. Sometimes the conversations on that show are outlandish and really strange because Hitman will say crazy shit. He will say crazy shit. And Brad just basically hits the record button so we catch it. And because sometimes I'll just react and it's like, what? And it just breaks down from there. So I'm going to bring this up early on before we start the actual show tonight, and hopefully maybe we'll get a good discussion out of that to legitimize it from a real fan's perspective. Because here's how bad it is. Because just to reference how Strange New Worlds is a complete shit show. Hitman is generally new to Star Trek. The first thing he ever watched was TNG, and he didn't even finish it all yet. He's still working on it, and he's now started watching TOS as well while we're watching episodes of DS9 once a week. He decided to check out Strange New Worlds, and he has such a hard time contemplating its garbage. It's like he keeps asking every week lately. We've been starting in DMs and when we start the show, he's asking questions to Brad. How does this make sense? How does this work? And I just sit back and let it happen because Brad's actually watching this garbage, so I let Brad deal with it. But it's funny as hell where a relative newcomer to Trek watches Strange New Worlds can tell what utter garbage Kurtzman Trek is. Can tell instantly.
If nothing else, Kurtzman and JJ Trek seem to think that it's an action franchise, that it's about crazy gunfights, about phaser battles and shit like that. And those had their place in the old TV series. Absolutely. There's some phenomenal ones. But a Kurtzman show could never have an episode like Measure of a Man, which is one of my favorite TNG episodes. There's nothing at stake, really, besides Data's life. And there's no battles. There's no fighting. It's just, is an android alive? And it's just dialogue contemplating that complicated issue. And they could never have a philosophical episode. It's all, who are we gonna pew pew now?
and you're still early in the series here with Measure of a Man,
Start of season 2,
where the relationships are not solidified, and when they ask Riker to be the opposing counsel, because Riker says, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be hard. And Data has a secret that only a couple of people know from season 1, where essentially his off switch is. Data has an off switch, a kill switch, and Riker knows where it is. And when Riker gives his argument about how committed to Data's not a man, he's just a machine, and it says, and now I'll cut Pinocchio's strings, and just literally, figuratively, and literally stabs Data in the back with that.
It's vicious.
It's vicious, and then he's heartbroken over it. And that's the kind of nuance that real Star Trek has with these great characters. And
the last scene of that episode, or close to it, is Riker just sitting off on his own in the observation lounge or whatever, while everyone else is celebrating Data's victory. And Data comes to him and is like, Commander, don't you want to join us? It's like, I don't feel like I'd be welcome there after what I did. And Data was able to realize, if you hadn't done what you'd done, they would have shipped me off without a trial. You made this possible. Thank you.
Integrity. It's about integrity. Riker, even though he hated it at first, he did the duty as a Starfleet officer. He did what he had to do. And even though he didn't see it, it took Data, the emotionless android, to tell him, you did the right thing as my friend. You did the right thing. You gave it your all and allowed me to make my case with Picard as my defense counsel. And so it's so beautifully set up. And that is great Star Trek. And that's something Kirsten Trek can't even sniff at. Can't even sniff. They don't even come close in anything they've done.
They'd be worried about losing the attention span of their Gen Z audience.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, has there not been an explosion in 5 minutes or a rumbly tummy? Oh, we got to do something.
Yeah. That's why I hate all of this. And I'm just glad in this conversation we were able to, have a moment of actual real Star Trek discussion, which is what I love to do. I love real Star Trek discussion. I love it when it happens. It's one of the things I love doing most in this current here now. I love it when a great Star Trek conversation just breaks out. And that's and I love it because we usually do it to overshadow the garbage that is Kurtzman Trek. I love it. All right. Here's more garbage coming our way, though. I spotted this. I spotted this morning. I was hoping Dre would be here. I'm starting to think Dre is not going to make it today, so we're just going to move on with a couple of these topics here. I have said Lanterns from the DCU is going to be a 50-50 thing. We've agreed on that. It's either going to be good or it's going to be dog shit. And the red flags are leaning towards dog shit. Well, via Vanity Fair, we have a blurb of what this show is going to be like. You want to see it? I'm going to show you.
Sure. I have no idea what's going on.
Our Lanterns have the rings, and all the power they bring, and other characters and aspects of the lore are going to show up or be name-checked, where his name dropped. But it's a series that explores who these guys are when they're on the job and when they're out of uniform, says showrunner Chris Mundy. Are you excited for Lanterns?
We know what regular dudes do. We want to see the fantastical elements. Something like this works after you've established characters and works for one episode. Like if the show was crazy off the rails, giant space battles, lantern shit, and then it had a small episode about dealing with personal, like seeing what their day-to-day lives was as kind of a bottle episode or something. I think that would be totally fine. Showing the contrasts is a good idea, but building the entire show on, they could be doing really cool things with their rings that literally make their imagination reality, or we could have them walking down a dusty road and saying, I'm just a regular Joe. What sounds more interesting? Sounds like it's going to be boring as shit.
I'm going to review it, and I'm sure Dre's going to watch it too. This is your DCU, everybody. Either childishly stupid, spastic narrative, or boring as fuck. I mean, one of the conversations I wanted to have today, but we're going to put off, I'll probably circle back next week for it, was how protected Superman and all these things are right now. We've never seen I would say a franchise, a world, a universe so protected as James Gunn's DCU right now. And you put this out here and you see this, and all I see is how is anybody excited when you hear this? Like you just said a perfect thing. In what is likely a 6 to 8 episode season, if you had one episode of downtime, day in the life, slice of life, where where maybe all Jon Stewart wants to do is take a nap. Maybe he just wants to take a nap. Maybe all Hal wants to do is go for a drive because he likes speed, likes fast cars, likes fast planes. Maybe just, or maybe John just wants to go to his community because Jon Stewart is also known for being a member of his community, his local community. Maybe they just want to take that month downtime, but shit just keeps getting in the way.
That sounds like a great episode.
Yeah, but no, what we're seeing here is we're gonna see them like this. Oh, he's wearing the ring right there. Doesn't matter. You know what it is? They're afraid to put suits on these guys, I think, after Ryan Reynolds.
I think you're right.
I think they're afraid because what they rolled out with Guy Gardner in James Gunn's Superman, that's not so much a Green Lantern uniform. He didn't look like a Green Lantern uniform.
It's a Justice Gang uniform.
Yeah, he was not wearing Green Lantern gear, which is generally created by the Ring. It's created by the Ring. It's sustained by the Ring. They're afraid to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to put the mask on Hal. Jon Stewart doesn't wear a mask, so that's fine. But they don't want to put the mask on Hal. They don't want to do it. They're afraid. That's the feeling I get looking at this, hearing these things out of their uniform. That's the line where I get it and say, what when they're on the job out of the uniform. If Dre was here, he would support what I'm going to say here. A Green Lantern out of uniform is not on the job. They're space cops. They're space cops. That's the reason Jon Stewart can stay on Earth, because there are multiple human Green Lanterns. He could stay on Earth while maybe Hal or any of the ones while they're out there doing the space cop stuff in the sector. One of them can always stay on Earth.
If you want some grounded Earth stuff, have, just like you said, Hal's off in space dealing with this threat. John's on Earth dealing with this other threat. And they start to realize that there might be the same threat and they have to team up to take care of it.
Yeah.
Halfway through the show, their storylines intersect and they're working together.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Get
ways
the best
to
of
do
both
this.
worlds.
There's ways to do this. But they are so wedded to not giving a real representation of these characters. They're so wedded to modernizing it that here we go. This looks and sounds boring as all hell. And I want things to be good, but when I hear this, now I'll say it, I don't want this to be good. I want it to be dog shit because I want the light shown down on how pedestrian James Gunn's DCU is. That it's got no spark, got no life. And the protected nature of it it's changed. It's affected the view right now. And again, I'd really love to have that conversation. But even without Dre, we do need Dre here for that conversation. But so we'll table that one for next week. But I just wanted to show you this. And your reaction get me all I needed. What are we looking at here? This is not a series. This is an episode. And they couldn't even probably do that right. They could not. All right, let's move on to my next main topic. This one slipped through the cracks this week. Very important. Very important. We learned earlier this week that off the success of their merger and feeling very proud of themselves, I would guess, Paramount Skydance wants to make a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery.
Why don't you make that merger you just did work and make it profitable before you buy the next thing? This is just Disney mouth watering at the next piece of meat without digesting it first, the last one first.
Yeah.
Because Skydance hasn't fixed Star Trek. We'd hoped it would, but they're just like, hey, JJ Trek, y'all love that.
You went right
it's
to
going
it.
to be disaster. You've got to let these things breathe. You've got to realize, all right, we did a great job with this. Let's try to fix Warner Discovery. In a few years, you could have a conversation for that. But you're recovering from a failed merger at this point. This is not the right time to put up more capital. It's not like these either company, Paramount or Skydance, are raking in the cash right now. They don't have the money to spare.
And there it is. You jumped right to it. Where this goes for the first part of the discussion. They just finished this merger. The ink isn't even dry on the contracts and the approvals from the government. And I have no problem with Paramount and Skydance merging because it's a single merger. Paramount used to be Viacom. They separated from Viacom. They were on their own. I believe that's how it went. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a few years, and I wasn't really paying that close attention, so forgive me. But these are in two individual companies. One has money, one does not. Okay, you bring it in. But what is now? Skydance made some good first moves. They fired a lot of people at Paramount Plus, people who created Halo and stuff like that. They are doubling down on the good stuff that's coming out on there. Give us more Taylor Sheridan stuff. I only like some of his stuff, but let's get more Taylor Sheridan. There you go.
It's successful, so keep doing what's successful.
Yeah. And he wants to keep working, so everybody's happy with the arrangement. He's happy to keep writing stuff. They're happy to take it. We're only a few days away from the premiere of Tulsa King season 3. Of course, even though that's weekly, since I'm not reviewing it, I will wait till it's all done to watch it because I'm just a viewer. I'm not analyzing it. But here, what was then the first thing they did on their first major franchise? Jed, you mentioned it. Instead of saying, "Hey, let's pull the brakes on Kurtzman Trek completely. Let's pull the brakes on JJ Trek completely." There's a rumor they've already canceled Starfleet Academy. There's a rumor that season 1, maybe season 2 will be it, which would be funny. I'm going to review season 1 anyway. It's going to be a hoot. That's going to be a hoot. But when now deciding where they're going to go next with Star Trek, the IP, their announcement a couple weeks ago, we covered this, was to say, hey, let's just go more JJ Trek. That's what started the problem in the first place, as Jed just said. That's what got us down the road to combining Star Trek and Doctor Who on a crap Kurtzman Trek show. That's how we got here.
This is the equivalent of I don't know, 10-cent random choice. It's not a relevant choice, but all right. 10-cent coming in to take Lucasfilm away from Disney and saying, we're going to do a Rey movie.
Yeah.
10-cent was kind of a random choice, but somebody coming in, taking Lucasfilm and saying, let's do a Rey movie. You don't double down on what made your predecessors fail.
Yeah. This is, so what I see here is Skydance doesn't understand how to restore any of this. So they made a bad choice. So now let's go to the other side of this. Warner Brothers, Warner Discovery, as we call them, they literally just split their company into multiple parts to shift around the billions of debt that they are in. Okay? They have so many problems in the current now and possibly future. In the here and now, we've got House of the Dragon season 3 coming out soon. May or may not be great. A lot of people are kind of iffy on that. I'm already out. I don't like anything Germ. I gave it a shot. You guys asked me to. I hated every second of it. I hate everything Germ does. On the other side, we know the truth. We know DC Studios has just lost them hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll keep losing them money for the next couple of years. But they got to keep pushing the propaganda. Once again, we'll come back to that in a later discussion about the most protective IP, the most protective stuff around James Gunn's Superman, how they propaganda has just put a big shield on that. Separate discussion. But they are struggling. In the next 2 years, we will get live action Harry Potter, the reboot.
Which is going to go so well.
I mean, when I say live action, I should have said it's Harry Potter's always been live action. The TV show.
Harry Potter TV show, yeah.
Yeah. That is already got pushback. It's already got pushback. And then the other stuff that they can make money on, what are they doing? Hunt for Gollum. WB is WB. They're fuck-ups. They're disasters. So they are, Jed, they are primed for a takeover, right?
Oh,
Their stock is
absolutely.
down.
They're
Yeah.
vulnerable, just
Yeah.
like New England, wire and cable. They're making
I knew
poor
you'd do
decisions,
it.
being propped up by other aspects of their company. And yeah, they're vulnerable right now.
Yeah,
They need someone to come in. I think it's more get better management, a new CEO,
Oh, yeah.
someone else to clean house. But yeah, they are vulnerable to a takeover right now. It shouldn't be these people though.
And-
if it had been Skydance before taking over Paramount, take over Warner
problem.
Brothers instead. That would work better. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah. But here we are. Now here comes the dirty word, monopoly. If Skydance, Paramount Skydance, call them by their full name, Paramount Skydance takes over Warner Discovery, that's a massive wedge of the entertainment pie there. That's suddenly a lot of different IPs now on our roof. Same with Disney. The same problem Disney. Jed, you said this perfect to me yesterday when we talked about this. Creating another monopoly to fight the monopoly of Disney solves not the problem. It's choking creativity. It's choking individuality. It's choking a chance to fix these problems. You don't need more corporation to fix these broken IPs. You need these IPs to be back in the hands of small individual companies who may be willing to take that risk to make it great again.
Who have to listen to the audience.
Yes.
They have no other choice. They're not being propped up by somebody else.
Yeah.
And the way I see it in the American industry, at least in the filmmaking industry, there are a few major companies. At least back in the day, or a few years ago, it was Disney, 20th Century Fox, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, and Sony. I consider those to be the juggernaut studios right now. If this goes through, that's 2/3 of them in monopolies. That's 2/3 of the industry.
Yeah.
So these monopolies take up 1/3 of the industry. That's going to be insane. Universal, I think, is probably doing the best out of all of those companies right now from an individual standpoint, but they've got their hits and misses, and Sony's not going to pick up the slack. We've seen their Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it. Everything's falling apart. So, yeah, it's not like they'll be able to pick up the slack and keep making creative stuff. So, what's going to happen next? Sony and Universal merge, and then it's just the 3 monopolies over everything.
That's terrible.
Have another third-party company come in, like Skydance. I think Skydance taking over Paramount is completely fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
They
made
didn't
some bad
do-
decisions, but nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it implicitly. Have another company like that do that for Warner Brothers, for Universal, for Sony, but actually make these companies better. That's not what's happening here. But you can't keep combining the big studios.
No. And all it's going to lead to is a basically worse product.
Well, it's a worse product, but it's also a consolidation. What does 20th Century do now? Because they're not
Nothing.
With 20th Century
They
Studios.
killed it. Disney murdered 20th Century Fox in the middle of the night, and people cheered.
And they took the pieces and rebuilt it into a Frankenstein in itself. Like they just absorbed the resources.
$72 billion. They spent $72 billion and
X-Men.
did nothing with it.
That's why they wanted it. I still believe it was for
I
the
agree.
X-Men.
I agree.
And
completely.
they haven't touched the X-Men yet, except for Deadpool and Wolverine. It's moronic. But I think that would happen again. If Paramount and Warner Brothers were to merge and become a monopoly, I think they would discontinue one of them for brand consistency. It is confusing to people to be like, all right, who owns what? What's doing
Warner,
what?
Paramount. I mean,
So,
that
yeah,
Warner Brothers.
Parabros.
Oh my God. I mean, you have to understand. I grew up when all these studios were still their studios. Metro Golden Mare, MGM, was a studio. 20th Century Fox was a studio.
Amazon killed MGM.
And that's where I was going with that. Exactly. Amazon absorbing MGM, that hurt me because that's the end of MGM. MGM doesn't exist anymore. It's Amazon Studios now. There is no Metro Golden Mare.
All these side companies, they're virtually non-existent. There was Miramax back in the day. There were New Line Cinema with Lord of the Rings. Touchstone. Well, that was always under Disney, I believe.
But it still existed. It still existed.
Yeah. But there were all these other companies. Lionsgate, I think, is one of the few independent studios that are still chugging along in its smaller form.
Yeah. But it's all gone now. 20th Century Fox gone. MGM gone. Paramount exists now, but if Paramount swallows Warner Brothers, what happens to Warner Brothers, the Shield? That has existed for 80 years. Gone. Gone just like everything else. So I've said this a lot in the past. Could somebody please enforce antitrust laws? Could somebody please enforce anti-monopoly laws so that these companies cannot just grow larger and larger, and when they do that, they destroy the content they're claiming they want to make money on? I mean, everything Disney has done is just our prime. They're the biggest monopoly right now. Disney. They bought everything under Iger for the past 20 years now. Everything they did destroyed every IP that they absorbed with every purchase. Everything under 20th Century Fox dead. Everything
They have
under
no healthy IPs right now.
Yeah,
not one.
Lucasfilm is nothing since they bought Lucasfilm. Not a single bit of profit. No money has been made. Just destroying Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow, everything under there. They dissolved LucasArts, a brilliant video game company, and they dissolved it and sold it off and signed a contract with EA, who didn't make a game in 7-8 years during that time. And now they just keep crapping out these mediocre games and all that shit. And then they absorbed Marvel and turned it into soap opera crap. The diversity soap opera crap that we get now.
Before both of those, Pixar.
And Pixar. The juggernaut that was Pixar. The just goose laying golden eggs that was Pixar. Now, here comes Toy Story 5. Nobody asked for, because nobody asked for Toy Story 4. So we don't need more monopolies. We need these companies. If anybody's going to buy one of these things, make it something that is not in the entertainment industry, something that just has all the fucking money. I hate this. I don't want this. This is a bad idea. This is just a bad idea. This doesn't help any IP under the umbrella of Warner Brothers or Paramount if it goes through. But nothing we can do to stop it. We could just report on it and tell you guys about it and show you that it's happening. That's it. That's all we can do. I mean, there's no point. I mean, this is just a lot of numbers because it's Reuters and who's involved. But it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And I don't trust Skydance. Like you said, their choices with Star Trek immediately, trust gone out the window if that's the way you're going. You had two choices. Either put it to sleep or hey, Skydance. Are you doing Skydance? Give me my DS9 Blu-rays. Take my money. Do that. But they're not going to. Maybe they will. I could hope.
I think the best thing they could have done is put it on ice for a few years and spend time coming up with a new plan. But if nothing else, get rid of Alex Kurtzman and turn the reins over to what's his bucket who did Picard season 3. The only universally liked thing from this universe in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Turn things over to him. I don't know if that's the correct choice, but that's from a business standpoint. If you were coming in, I could see that being a reasonable option.
It's reasonable because Terry McTowell's worked on real Star Trek. He worked on real Star Trek. He learned from people who wrote before him, and he gives a damn. One of the key things is he gives a damn about Star Trek.
That's the most important qualifier.
Yeah, but know what? He's working for Disney now. He just finished the Vision Quest TV show,
which is, I think that's going to be garbage.
That's going to be hot garbage. Going to be terrible.
That's why I wouldn't make that choice, but I could at least see that having potential to turn Star Trek around.
They had one chance, Legacy, and they didn't do it. So there you go, Paramount Skydance, and this is real. They're preparing to make a bid because, to use the term, Warner Discovery is in play because they owe so much money. Their stock is down. Nobody has confidence in them. Despite the propaganda of how great Superman did, nobody has confidence. Jed, if Superman did so well, would they be this vulnerable for Paramount Skydance to come in and say, we want to buy you?
No, it would absolutely not be. And with the fluffing that I think it was Variety did to Warner Brothers this last week, it's the only film studio that broke a certain amount at the domestic box office 7 times in a row. How many of those movies made money? Minecraft made money. There's no denying that. It made a godless amount of money. Mickey 17 was a failure. Superman was a failure. Most of these movies haven't made money. So yeah, that record-breaking sounds nice, but it doesn't mean anything to stockholders. It doesn't mean anything to its enticability as a corporate takeover.
Yeah. So, and that is, we'll put a pin in that subject because that was going to be part of our discussion for the protected nature of this. We're going to have to put a pin in that one with that article that we both loved so much. But yeah, so if Warner Brothers is so great from the DCU, how come they're in play to be purchased by a rival company? Tell me that, Stans. Tell me that one.
Yeah, if Superman had done well and the James Gunn universe was doing great, there's no vulnerabilities. That is
was
the
poised to
cornerstone
make
of Warner
billions
Brothers right now.
If it was poised to make billions, the stock would be through the roof. But it's not.
Peacemaker season 2 is not moving the needle.
No.
And it doesn't sound great to me when the protagonist of your TV show is like, my universe sucks. I'm going to abandon it and move to a pretty universe where everything's sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, which if rumors are true, might just be all white people. The rumors are true on that. That's what I heard people theorizing, that the happy universe is in, there's only white people there, and that's going to be the evil racism message of the season. So
I mean, they had evil racism message in season 1. His dad was a white supremacist.
Ay, Gavalt. All right, so there it is. I am. We'll know when this shit happens. We will know. Okay, so no, Ruben, I don't want to buy it on DVDs. I want Blu-rays. I got my TNG on Blu-ray, and I want my DS9 on Blu-ray too. Nice and clean, pretty, bright colors, not flattened, not 480p. I want my 1080p Blu-ray. I like Blu-ray. I don't need 4K. I don't need 4K, but I want it on my Blu-ray. I just do. Take my money. Jed, that's such an easy decision. Take my money. It's easy. It's easy. Okay. I was hoping Dre would be here for this, but we will close the show out here now. I'm going to drop the normalization evil thing because that required all of us here for that discussion. So I'm going to take that off. I will alter the title in there. So with that said, I feel like we're good. Let's just end it. We don't need to talk Rings of Power. Fuck Rings of Power.
What's to talk about? They think Sauron and Saruman are brothers.
Yeah, it's retarded.
Oh, come on.
It's just retarded.
There's not a whole lot to talk about. And as far as I'm aware, their argument is they're from the same species. Because in heaven, their spiritual form, they are from the same type of class of angels.
They all are.
Right. So that's their evidence for it.
But wait a minute. Sauron, he's not. He's one step above Gandalf and Saruman and the wizards. He was a higher class.
They're all angels, and angels are angels.
But no, there are like specific Maiar.
The Maiar versus the I don't know their names.
I'm not enough of a Tolkien guy to know the term.
Yeah, there is a difference between these, but yeah, that's their evidence. Is they're both from heaven, so they're brothers, and it changes everything. I'm actually marathoning the extended editions of Lord of the Rings right now. We just watched Two Towers and Fellowship yesterday, actually, and I was just thinking about this article the whole time. It does change the entire context of the film. It's just older brother saying, "Hey, little bro, want to help me take over the world?" Well, I don't wanna. Well, I'm gonna bully you into doing it. And it changes the entire dynamic, and it's just weird. Their evidence is flimsy at best. And another piece of evidence that I love is, well, Tolkien likes to make family names sound similar. Like Eomer and Eowyn, Boromir and Faramir. See? Sauron and Saruman. They've got similar letters, so they must be related.
No, and those are their earth names, their physical form names. They have angelic names.
It doesn't matter.
They have godly
I
names.
doubt these people are aware of the difference, but yeah, it's flimsy evidence. That's like saying Adam and I are brothers because we're both human.
Yeah,
and
but you're a ginger.
We both have
no
D's in our name.
You're a ginger. You have no soul. I'm an Aryan.
But yeah, if they incorporate that storytelling into season 3, I will die laughing because they've already butchered everything. We kept making my wife and I. We kept making Rings of Power jokes while we were watching. Like Gandalf, yes, the Grand Elf.
That was so bad. We'll be back with Mordor Country when season 3 comes out. We'll be there. We're gonna have our fun. It's terrible, but it's painful and fun. Yeah, so that's just dumb. And listen, I'm sure there was other stuff about citing Elendil and Narsil and all that stuff. It's like nobody this is you're it's all fake. It's all fake and stupid. So we're gonna make fun of that. There'll be plenty of time for Rings of Power mocking as we get more announcements from the production. And I can't wait for that first trailer. I can't wait. The glory of the downvotes. It'll begin again. And then what'll happen again, we'll get the glory of the comments. It's going to happen all over again because people are waiting to shit all over it.
You're still on the team that they're going to try to pull an escape clause after season 3, right?
Yes, I've always been there.
Do you think they're going to try to write season 3 as the ending, like cram in Forging of the One Ring and the Battle of the Last Alliance into season 3?
I think it ends with the Forging of the One Ring. The season it ends with the Forging of the One Ring. Yeah,
and then the show's just over.
Yeah. I think it ends with the Forging of the One Ring. I do.
Because I want to see Galadriel jumping around the Battle of the Last Alliance and her being the one who secretly cuts off Sauron's fingers or something.
Even though she was never there.
Right. I want them to pull like an Arya Stark thing.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were going. I knew it.
And Isildur is just laying on the ground and the ring falls next to him. He's like, oh, I'll take that.
The cuck. Isildur the cuck in the show. God, I hate this show. I hate it so much. I love hating it. That's the thing. I do. I love hating it. It's so terrible. It deserves to be destroyed. Anyway, there we go, guys. We are going to wrap it up. We are basically at the end of 2 hours. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We appreciate you guys showing up. We appreciate you laughing with us, laughing at us, because I know I encourage that. Anyway, so let's go around the horn, Sarah for Wells, and I'm going to take out the garbage. Jed, hi. You're up. What you got?
Well, everyone can find me on YouTube at Hollywood Scholar, just regularly scheduled live streams this week, ending Saturday Night Drive-In this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I decided we needed to watch a war movie, specifically a World War II movie, so I picked the 2015 Mel Gibson directed film Hacksaw Ridge. I think we're going to have a good discussion about it, especially the pacifism and war argument.
I've never seen it.
Meat to that.
I've never seen it, so you're going to get a fresh take. All right, Dragon Lady, what are your incest Sims up to?
Well, I don't know that one. I will not be here next week as I will be in London seeing the Broadway version of Disney's Hercules on stage. So I will be really looking forward to that. It was a birthday present for me, so I'm ecstatic, basically.
All right, enjoy it. I think that movie's terrible, but enjoy it.
You don't like Hercules?
It's mythologically a nightmare. You know how bad that is.
It's completely. I still love it from nostalgia reasons. I grew up with it, and I love "Go the Distance." The song "Go the Distance" I think is phenomenal.
I hate that movie.
it's so inaccurate.
I can't stand it. And yes. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. We wanted to avoid getting into that because it's. I made the choice in terms of the show. It's time to get back to normal. So if we had talked about the main original topic, Normal Days of Evil, we'd have touched on it a little bit, but I felt the need. We're going to move on.
This is a pop culture stream, and we hope to offer escapism. And that's what pop culture should be for. So
we're here to make you laugh.
Things.
We're here to make you laugh, have a good time. As for me, I will be going and doing Wormhole Watch tonight with Brad and the boys. Check that out Wednesday on Brad's channel, Duke Devil 95, the edited version. Rest of the week, what's going on here in the now? I don't know. We got Daily Dive, 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, where we're back to normal there too as well. You guys are going to do that. I know we've got to chat, maybe watch this reviews. I have to watch Supergirl 1984, which I've seen. I mean, I've seen it many times in my life. Been a long time, but I've seen it. Kratos really hates it. I know that. So I'm supposed to watch it and then compare it to The Room. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Supergirl compared to The Room?
That's Kratos' thing. He wants me to watch movies and compare it to The Room. That's his thing right now. That's what he wants me to do.
I've never seen the Supergirl movie, but I can't imagine there's anything worth comparing between The Room.
It's 1984, and it's a part of the Reeves universe. It's not great, but it's not as bad as I think they are. They hate it. Kratos, a couple of other guys, they really hate it. It's not that bad. It's just the era of bad comic book adaptations. You know, they didn't really know what to do with the character. Because Supergirl wasn't super famous at that time. You know, she wasn't big. So they didn't really know how to approach it. And Helen Slater was okay. I mean, they basically go the magic route. She fights magic in it. No, it's not a threat. They don't really have her being the Maiden of Might, the Girl of Steel, that kind of stuff. It's very low key. But it's not this nightmare of a movie. It's a very average to movie. I mean, it's been well over 20 years, probably even 30 years since I've last seen it. As a kid, I saw it multiple times in the 80s and early 90s, but it's been a long time. But I have seen it. So it's not going to be one of those things where I'm walking into it and I'm going to have to be like, oh, what am I watching? No, I know what I'm walking into. And then I have to compare it to, oh, hi, Mark, and that kind of stuff. So listen, one thing I say, there's no belly button sex in Supergirl 1984, okay? That ain't
that
happening.
you remember. You watching the
I
director's
do
cut?
remember it. Stop it. I remember it.
Oh, are you watching the director's cut that has the belly button sex?
I think you stumbled onto the hub when you saw that. Anyway, rest of the week, no scheduled gaming streams. We're kind of in between solo gaming streams right now because I don't have anything I really want to stream for you guys on my own. And we finished Tainted Grail the other week. Now I'm just kind of enjoying playing Final Fantasy 14 with the guys, but that's really not entertaining from my end. In a few weeks, we'll be getting, at least for a little bit, I'll start streaming the Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles when that comes out. That'll be good. I'm hoping that
you
be a lot
could
of fun.
always pick up the Witcher 3 DLCs that you
I
can finish
could
and lead up to season 4.
I could, but I probably won't. I did think about it. I won't lie. The other week, I did think about that.
Their stories are so good, man.
I don't doubt it, but I'm really not in the mood to play it. And also, it's still set on Death March. I'd have to remember how to play so I don't die.
Well,
So-
that is changeable at any time.
No, you do not go backwards. You stay on the difficulty you started. Otherwise, you turn in your gamer man card. Anyway, no, I start and I stay on unless the game has completely defeated me, which never happened. I've never been completely defeated. I stay on the hardest difficulty level when I get there, and I'm proud. Every time I ask somebody who's playing it recently, when they start to say you starting on Death March, they go no, and I go I did. I started on
Death Market is the funnest difficulty level.
It
There are
kicked my,
people
that
who
kicked
start
my
out
ass.
easy. Mhm.
It kicked my ass early on, and I had to get good, scrub.
But once you figure
good.
it out, it gets easy.
Yeah, and once you level up and get the gear and stuff like that, and okay, now I'm doing all right. But early on, oof, it's rough. Early on, it is rough. Anyway, so stay tuned for talk about that. There probably will be Space Marine 2 this week. I can't say when though. We've had some scheduling issues on that. And as I said, I'm kind of winding down on that. We're probably going to do it a little bit more, and then I'm going to put that one back on the shelf. But other than that, stay tuned for other live streams, other videos, and stuff like that. We appreciate, as we always say, you guys showing up. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.